Yeah, what is up, guys? Coach Kobe back in the building. You already know the vibes. Hockey crew, what is up with you? What up, what up, what up? Yo, I am super excited about the fact that tomorrow OP-11 officially drops and we will be in OP-11 meta. Also, guys, if y'all don't know, if y'all don't follow me on Twitter, we've been getting some STs, so we're super excited to talk about those. We'll talk about those in a future video. But today, the reason why you clicked on this video is because, first off, I got a top 64 with GP Luffy, Hulk Luffy, and I'm super excited to let you guys know about that run. I was originally going to post all the videos, but it's an old format, so I figured we just talk about OP-11 because that's why you are here. I'm going to talk about my top 64 very quickly, and then I'm going to talk about the changes to the deck that I would make for the OP-11 format. And the reason why I really want to talk about this is because many people will be on GP Luffy, and UP Luffy is also going to be tier 0. A lot of people are saying. So how do we compete with a tier 0 deck, right? I'm gonna let you guys in on my secrets, in on my stuff, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. All right, so just so you guys know, this is the list that I was running on Saturday at Unsung Events Treasure Cup. I did end up top 64. I ended up 37th, 5 places away from top 32. I wish I could have had it, but you know what, we'll take it. It's my best run so far in One Piece. And I'm super excited to get into this because of the fact that I will be in Orlando in 2 weeks, literally, actually a week from now at this point. And I will be competing Saturday's regional next Saturday, all right? So on the 14th in Orlando, if you see me, come up to me and let me know. I will do whatever, take pictures, you know, I'm not that popular. Anyways, all right, this was my deck going into the EBO2 format. What changes do I feel like we need to make in order to make this OP-11 valuable, okay? So, first thing that I'm going to think about right away is thinking about what OP-11 stands for. It stands for Stinkman and it stands for aggro, right? Those are probably the 2 buckets that you always got to consider when deck building. So if I'm going to consider that, I think Electrical Luna is a really good card against the aggro decks, but it's absolutely useless against UP, right? So if that's being said, I'm cutting Electrical Luna at least down to 1 right now in my initial process, and I'm also definitely cutting Zoro. Zoro's not needed. I also think that, in my opinion, we need to make sure that we're able to see our cards, right? Our whole deck is based off Sanji Pudding, so I think that we need to be able to ramp and we need to be able to search. So those are 2 main things that we think about, right? That being said, I think that Frankie, this 3-cost Frankie enters the meta at full capacity, right? So we're gonna go up and we're gonna try 4 Frankies. I also think that Radio Knife's a good card. I don't know how much space I have for it, so right now I'm gonna take it out. I have Electrical Luna at 1. I probably will end up taking this out. It might be good against aggro decks, but I'm not sure it's good against anything else. So we have 4 Frankies. I also think, if I'm being honest with you, I would consider putting Taro up to 3. But I also don't like the fact that Taro is a slower play. I think that we need to be super aggressive in this meta in order to be able to combat UP, right? Because UP doesn't do anything until 8th on turn and then they go crazy, right? So if we can get them down fast enough where we don't need to worry about a Taro, I think Taro at 2 is good. I might consider putting Secret Luffy up at 4. Something that I talked to my boy Eris about is talking about those searches. So I think that we agree that Nico Robin should be up at 3. Right now, because I'm more worried about ramp, I think I'm going to put Chopper up to 3 and keep Nico at 2. The reason why I keep Nico at 2 is because of the fact that Don -1, look at the top 3 cards of on KO, right? Now Don -1 I feel like is going to hurt us more than it's going to help us. So unfortunately, I'm going to take that out. One card that I do think that is super important here, that I really like, and shout outs to my boy Eris, because he put me onto this. I was looking at Demonic Sword era, and I think that this card is actually going to be the secret tech for us, right? Up to 1 of your Straw Hat type crew members get plus 6,000 until the end of the turn. Then that character does not become active during your next refresh phase, right? This is really good because we have little bodies like Nami, like Frankie, right? So Frankie with this becomes a 10k, Nami with this becomes an 8k. 8k is our magic number here, guys. 8k forces UP to basically give me a 2 and a 1 or a gear second, right? And that is fine by me. I'm going to add this card as a one of, right? Now, we still have Electrical Luna here, and we have Gatling, right? So I think another thing that we need to consider, right, is that we have 8 2Ks. In this meta, I believe that a 9th 2K will be valuable here. So I think that we go with a 2K that we can search. So we're going to go with a purple Straw Hat, and that is going to be Franosuke, right? We're going to have a 1 Franosuke. Currently, in my list right now, I took out my Luna, and I have 2 Franoskes. I don't know if 10 2Ks is correct or 9 2Ks is correct. I'm still kind of testing this. And I think that Giant Pistol might be good. But I also think Radio Knife here also might be good because of the aggro decks, right? The problem with this deck in particular is that sometimes you cannot remove threatening bodies, right? So I think Radio Knife as a one of is good here, right? So we'll get the pistol and the Radio Knife. Radio Knife could be searched by Sea Pirates, and then pistol can be searched by anything else, right? Except the Zoroark. So I think that that's good. I also am curious because I do not like inconsistencies. I am curious if I just put Giant Pistol up to 2. Giant Pistol. And see how that works, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to test this in Rank Sim, and we're going to see what ends up happening, all right? So stay tuned for those videos, and let's get into it, all right? So we're going to save this Giant Pistol, and let's just get into some Rank Sim. So we are playing against UP Luffy, and this is probably going to be the matchup that you are going to see most often. They choose to go first. We're going second. I feel really good with this hand because we get a search, we get Zoroark, Luffy Taro on curve. We definitely keep this hand without question, okay? So they're going to go first, pass off because they don't have anything. We have double Nami, which is kind of insane here. We're going to pick up, I think I want to pick up the Sanji Pudding, but the Zoroark is very tempting here. But we are going to pick up the Sanji Pudding because we need it. And then here, we're going to go pick up... I think we want to pick up the Merry Go here. And the reason why we probably want to pick up the Merry Go is because of the fact that we don't want Gravity Blade to be messing with our Sanji Puddings eventually. So that is something to note, okay? I would have picked up the Secret Luffy, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's super helpful in this matchup right away. So here we are just gonna go, we can't go 5 unfortunately. So here we're just gonna go not Radio Knife, Zoroark. We do see the one of here, which kind of sucks. So we know we're not gonna be able to bring this back. And we do see a secret and a giant. So I think in this situation, we wanna pick up the, we see both of these. I think we wanna pick up the secret here and then just pass off the turn. At this point, he will be at 5 down. At this point, he will be at 6 with the Zoroark. And he might make it his way up to 8 at the end of this turn. If he does, that's really bad for us. But at the same time, I feel like we're set up in a good position for the next turn, okay? So we got to figure out what ends up happening here. I would have loved to have another Zoroark in here, but we just do not. So he's going to go 4. I believe he probably goes here. 6 is fine. Either goes God Thread or he goes Bon Clay into Gear Second. Yep. Which makes total sense. Yep, Gear Second. So he's at 8 down. So next turn he'll be able to leader ability. Not great for us, but we want to make sure that we ensure that our characters are gonna live. So we're gonna go here. He's definitely at more Don than us, so we're able to Sanji Pudding and get the Don back for free. So we'll go here. We'll gain an active Don. Here, now we can go 6 into here. He's probably going to give this to me because it's already done its job. We go 6 here, but we're also going to make this a 7 cost. And then we're going to Frankie here. The reason why we Frankie here is because we want to keep up in Don count with him. And we will be at 8 Don next turn. We feel good about this board, even though he can leader effect next turn. So if he leader effects next turn, he cannot Big Mom. He can Luffy though. And our Zoroark being rested doesn't help us. So we'll see. If he goes 6 into Zoroark, we're always going to give him a 1k. And then if he just has Rush Luffy, it is what it is. You know what it is? It just is what it is. Alright, so he revealed Nami. Okay. So we know there's a Nami in his hand. And then he's going to draw for turn. And then he's going to be able to do his shenanigans. At 10 down. Let's see what we have here. Oh, you're gonna a Big Mom, like, come on. We know what you're gonna do. We know your strat. All right. We feel pretty good because we have 9 cards in hand. And something that I've learned being a UP player, because I do main UP as well, is that sometimes they are just super greedy. We give them, I think we give them Uso because I don't think we care about resting anything. They don't play pudding. They don't play pudding as much as we want to. Like, they'll play 2 puddings at max. I've never seen UP play 3, so I played 2 personally in my list. But okay, so we went 7. That's pretty good. He can go 6 again, pressure another card out of my hand, and then if he Sanji's here, we're not looking great, but we'll see. He's gonna go 6. We only have 2 Ks, unfortunately. So we do have to give him another one. Do I care about giving him another one? I think we have to. Or do we not? Well, we have double Sanji pudding. And we're going to Luffy Taro. Actually, that's fine. Make room for the board. Make room for the board. Because if he goes Luffy here, then he's just going to have to swing into my life. And that's fine. I don't really care about swinging into life. He's gonna go Nami here, so he's telling me he doesn't have the Sanji and he's gonna set it up for the next turn. The really interesting part about this Luffy is the fact that he can just leave 5 Don up and be like, alright, contend with this. And he is super healthy, that's the problem. So we'll see what ends up happening here. I feel good about this Frankie though, because this Frankie has gotten me to 8 Don, and we feel like we can contend with this, right? So now we get double Sanji pudding. And feel good about getting double Dawn back, triple Sanji pudding. Okay, we're always gonna start here with getting the Bond Clay out the way if we can. Cool. So there we free up our space. Gonna Luffy Taro here, -1. Play the Sanji pudding over this. We'll be able to draw, and we'll get our Dawn back. We'll double. And now we could honestly, if we wanted to, play another Sanji pudding, really putting the pressure on him. I don't know if that matters too much. So we're at 7 Don. We're going to here, start here. I almost want to pick this up here, guys. Oh, did we? Oh, this is the list that we're playing 2 of. Okay, so we're not playing Radio Knife. That's good to know. And then this is our last secret. So I will pick this up for now. Because that's interesting. We can't use it right now necessarily, but we can use it eventually to go for games. So we can also play Sanji, which is helpful here. So I think we go 6. I think we're gonna go 6-8, and then just play a Sanji. Yeah, I think we're gonna go 6-8 and then play Sanji. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go 6. We're gonna go 8. We'll swing with the Frankie, not that it matters too much, just to get an extra Don, because we always want to get the extra Don whenever possible. Now this Nami's a threat on the board, which is kind of crazy to say. Oh, so he just, wow, okay. So that's a misplay on our part, but I mean, we still do get the space for the Sanji. Actually, we could play Frankie now. We could play Frankie now. We don't necessarily need to. So we can Red Rock a 4 less, okay, cool. So we go 8. Do we need the blocker here necessarily? I don't think we do here just yet. So I think we just play Frankie, gain the rest of Don, and pass turn, right? I'm saying come get me because of the fact that I have 2 life. I'm going to 10 Don next turn. I know we have 2 giants at the bottom of our deck, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, okay, so he's got Sanji. So he's saying he can remove the Sanji pudding, right? But he cannot remove both of them. And I do have 2 more ready. So we'll see what ends up happening. He can remove one of my Sanji puddings though, with the Sanji and Big Mom. I'm assuming that would be my assumption. That's where you're going. This giant pistol is actually really interesting here. I'm not gonna lie. Giant pistol is really interesting because all of a sudden my Nami is a threat. It's an 8K that you have to worry about, and then I can just play over it. Yeah, that's really good. Let's see. Most likely he plays Sanji into something. I assume it's going to be Big Mom. If not, I feel good about that. Especially because of the fact that he's going to give me a life in order to make sure that I'm good. So if I want to take this, I feel like I have the green light to take this. Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I have the green light to take that. Okay, cool. So he has Big Mom, but he doesn't have the Sanji Big Mom. So that's interesting. I just get the Sanji putting back into my life. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. All I did was basically draw, okay? Now we're at 10 Don. They are at 9. So we got to make sure that we are aware of that. How do we start this turn? He has 1 Don up. He has a blocker. I think we start this turn with an Usohachi to make sure that he cannot block, right? And then from here, we can't marry Go, unfortunately, because we do have more Don than him. That's so weird. Well, maybe we play Giant. Well, we're at 7 Don left, so let's think this rationally. Okay. We don't want to swing. I mean, we know he has a Sanji in hand, so interesting. So why don't we start with an 8 to lead? Let's start with an 8 to lead, see what happens. If he takes it, okay. Interesting. So do I Sanji Pudding here, or do I Secret Luffy here? Because if I Secret Luffy, I go back to 4 Don. I feel good about taking my life. This is aggro. This is super pressure. And then, I mean, I could also play this for 3. Actually, I could play this for 3 and make this a 10K. Like, that's kind of crazy. Here's what we'll do. We'll go Sanji Pudding here. We're gonna go lead effect. We'll bring these 2 back. We'll get back our rested Don. Alright, so we're back at 10 Don. So like that doesn't change too much. But now what we could do here is make this a freeze, and then this is a 10K. Like you either have to give me Giant here or you don't. You could give me Giant, you don't have to. But then I feel really good about just going 6-8 and then having to like have the merry go. Alright, maybe should have got 6 instead of 10. Well, 10 requires him to play Giant or take the life. So like that's kind of where we're at. And then maybe we could just pressure this Nami here. So it gives me that. We know he has, what did he give me? 2-2-1. We know for a fact he has a Giant, or he has a Sanji in here, right? So let's go 6 here and see what happens. You have another one? Okay, so you gave me that. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go 8 here. And then just marry, go, and yep, that's fine. So he's at 0 life. With 9 Don, he's gonna be able to do his Sanji thing. He probably will be able to take out a Sanji Pudding, which is fine by me. I'm not too worried about that in the moment. Because of the fact that if he takes out my Sanji Pudding, he will have to give me another life. He will have to swing, right? I feel pretty good about that. Alright, here we go. So he's gonna go start 6 here. I feel like I have to take 6. So that's totally fine with me. If he's trying to go for game here, I don't think he can outside of playing Rush Luffy. And I think we definitely have enough counter for Rush Luffy. So if you're just gonna go 9-10, I'm okay with that. Yeah, sure. I'm okay with you playing Rush Luffy. I'm okay with you playing Snake Man. I'm pretty much okay with you playing anything here. Okay. So he's gonna Sanji into Big Mom. Okay, so the Sanji Pudding's gone. That's fine. Not too worried about that. He gets a life, but again, we have the other Sanji Pudding because he just gave it to us. So he's just gonna keep on recurring this cycle. The song and dance is the same. So we are at, he's at 9 Don. Honestly, we could Taro here and get our Sanji Pudding to be live again. So that's pretty good. I think we Taro here. And then we're gonna -1 Don. We're gonna get the Don back, and then we'll replace the Usohachi. I don't think it's gonna serve us anything. So there we go, we get a draw. Now we're able to do the same song and dance that he did, and then get our Don back. So now we are at 7 Dawn open, right? Now, he has 1 open. We could honestly play Luffy and like try to game it, but I don't think that's super smart, right? So at this point, because we know that we have another Merry-Go, we are going to Merry-Go here, and that's perfect. This chopper is actually really, really good for us because that means that he cannot get through our board super, super easy. So I'm tempted here to go 8. Let's start 8. Let's see what happens here. Go 8, 8, 8, and then I think another 8. Yeah, we'll go 8s all across the board. We'll go 8s across the board and see what happens. Because, like, yes, he can clear my board, but I also have chopper, right? And if he giants here, right, now he can't leader. He cannot leader here. So that's totally fine with me. So he'll get 10, but now he's at 7 Dawn. So he cannot leader next turn. And then we're just going to pressure it again with another 8. Now he has to clear my board, and he cannot pretty easily. So we're going to go here and pass, right? So now he has to go for game this turn, right? He has to go for game. We have 1 giant up. We feel pretty good. We know that we have a brick in life, so we do have to be cognizant of that. He can Usohachi this and then probably swing super tall. That's my only fear, I think. I think that's my only fear. I think he games me if he Usohachis here. Gravity Blade doesn't do too much. It literally just gets rid of my chopper. I feel way better about this now. He'll go 9, 9, 9. Okay. I feel good about this, so I will just give you my Zoro. So that's 9. You're gonna give me 9, 9. I can give you there. Yeah, I have game. Okay, cool. So here, you can pretend. I'll just shits and giggles, guys. Shits and giggles, right? Here. Oh my God, I had giant. No more. No way. All right, and then GG's. Go here, which is super, super important. Why we get our second 2K or our ninth 2K. GG. Yeah. All right, so he did have Secret Luffy. That is really interesting. But again, Luffy Taro was kind of MVP. We did have pressure there. I'm super interested in putting Luffy Taro up at 3, maybe. Oh my God, I don't know. All right, let's get back to the list. That's how I feel. I think that Luffy Taro is like, maybe we make it a 3-up. I like Giant Pistol. It's really good here, guys. Gatling was super important here. I don't know if Nico is super important. Maybe we go, I don't know. I mean, there are going to be situations, like we saw all 4 of our Sanji puddings that we were able to cycle them pretty consistently. There are going to be situations where that doesn't happen, right? So maybe what we end up doing here is bringing Taro up to 3. Maybe making Giant Pistol 1 up. No, I like Giant Pistol as 2. I think we're going to keep it like this, guys. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, what you're cooking up with Hulk Luffy / GP Luffy. I think this is the list I'm going to test for 11. And let me know if you guys have any other suggestions in the comment section down below. I'll catch you later, Hockey Crew. Let's get into OP-11. Let's get right.